Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Abigail. Today I'm going to be sharing the first phase of the healing journey. This is my opinion from my personal experience, but the first phase is to reconnect with your emotions and stop suppressing them. So if you had a traumatic childhood, you likely are really good at suppressing your emotions because this is how you learned to tolerate abuse and toxicity and feel a little bit okay in that environment. And so the healing journey is kind of like building a house. When you're building a house, you have to start with the foundation. And the foundation of the healing journey is the ability to connect and process your emotions. So I've been on my healing journey for almost 6 years now. And when I first started, I did all this like learning and studying about all the ways to heal, all the different like how much better I could be. And I wasted a lot of time. If you really want to like heal quickly and efficiently, you got to find what that right next step is for you and kind of just hone in on that. Because if you're learning a lot about like a step that's like way far in the future, you're not even going to remember all of that information that you're learning right now. So I also used to kind of struggle with like this overwhelming feeling of like, how do I heal? Where do I start? What am I supposed to do? So hopefully this video can help you not struggle like I did if you are starting your healing journey. So we're going to go all in talking about emotional suppression, why we suppress our emotions, and how you can begin to heal from this like I did. So first I'm going to share a little story about this. Um, Quite some time ago, I went to this beautiful light code group meditation, and the day after, I was sitting by the river with my friend, and for the first time in my entire life, I felt like what it's like. It sounds kind of silly, but for an emotion to just come up, be processed, and just let go of it. For the first time in my life, because I used to automatically suppress my emotions. Like, where an emotion would come up and be felt, it would just, there was no chance to feel it or process it. It would just automatically be suppressed. And so if you're there now, really what you got to do is kind of relearn about emotions, how you relate to your emotions, and like change your relationship with yourself. And so, what are the effects of suppressing our emotions? Emotions are like kind of underrated. They're an essential part of a full life experience. Like, what makes life life is how life makes you feel. And the deeper you feel your negative emotions, the deeper you can feel your positive emotions, love, joy, happiness. And each emotion serves a purpose, even the negative ones. You can't have the good experiences without the bad experiences, and the the negative emotions that you have serve purposes that you need. Your emotions were put into your body for a reason. Every single one of them. God, the universe, created this body in perfectness. And so when you suppress your emotions, not only do you kind of dull your life experience, but you also kind of become vulnerable to toxic or abusive situations because you learned to suppress your emotions to tolerate those abusive emotions. So you're really good at tolerating and not seeing how abusive in a situation or a person might actually be. Whereas if you were really connected to your emotions, the purposes they serve would allow you to navigate and protect yourself from abusive or toxic situations a lot easier. So in the past, it was necessary for you to suppress your emotions to survive your toxic childhood. In the present, it's not necessary anymore. It doesn't serve you anymore, and you could live such a more beautiful life if you had like full connection to your emotions. And now as an adult, you are capable of processing your emotions. Just one of the reasons why children suppress their emotions is because developmentally, if you didn't have parents that taught you how to process your emotions, a child literally can't process their emotions. And for really big emotions like experiencing childhood abuse or really bad toxicity, a child also can't process that. So it learns to protect itself, to like live a little bit better, to suppress the emotions. Some more reasons why you suppress your emotions is that it was never modeled to you by your parents. You know, if your parents were emotionally numb, if no one ever talked about feelings, then you learn really easily how to be numb and how to suppress your emotions. Another really big one is that it simply was unsafe for you to express or experience certain emotions. So, how your parents treated you in relation to certain emotions taught you which emotions are okay to feel and experience around people and which emotions aren't. And this translates to the self. Which emotions are okay to experience with myself and which ones aren't. Another really important one, how your parents modeled their emotions. If you had parents that had these big angry outbursts, then you learned that how people handle anger is by having big outbursts. And when parents modeled emotions in an unhealthy way, you start to create negative associations with your emotions. And part of these negative associations is the traumatic triggers you have. So the issue with these negative associations is when you have negative associations and triggers, when a simple emotion comes up, when something small happens that causes an emotion that could be easily processed, not only is that emotion coming up, but this emotion is tied to this big interconnected web of all of your past traumatic experiences with emotions and all of your negative associations with emotions. An example of this, I used to have this with crying, where I never suppressed my crying, but when I'd feel sad in front of others, I would also feel extremely unsafe. So when something would make me sad, I would also feel unsafe, feel like I'm in danger for being sad. And this would cause me to just cry uncontrollably. For me, as well, one of the big emotions I used to suppress was anger, where I didn't even know what it was like to feel anger. Like, I didn't even know what anger felt like at all. And that's really dangerous because, like we said, emotions have a purpose. Your anger has a very important purpose that helps you protect yourself and even like create change in your life. There's a lot of like beautiful, like universal purposes for anger as well. It's like a catalyst for growth and dissolving patterns in your life. And so now that you know all this, how do we heal from it? What do we do now that we know a little bit about it? First, like, recognize if this is you. Do you suppress your emotions? Which ones do you suppress? Which ones do you struggle to process? And if you do, how you like begin this journey of healing this, it's really simple. Like, don't overthink it. You don't have to stress about it at all. You don't have to worry about like forcing yourself to like learn all about it or like do exercises or whatever. Just all you got to do, set a simple intention in your mind. Low pressure mental note. For the next phase of my life, I am learning how to stop suppressing my emotions. Mental note. Keep it saved in the back of your mind. Write it on your phone if you want to. And with this low pressure intention, what this does, what this signals to the universe is you are going to take action towards this, but with the like not overthinking low pressureness, it's going to allow the universe to actually bring in everything you need to get you where you want to go, which is to be in touch with your emotions. And it's really low pressure because it's just like these things take seasons, you know what I mean? This season, this is what life is teaching me. And so if this is where you are, this is true. This is literally what life is trying to teach you. If you landed on this video, if you made it this far into this video, life is sending you things, people, and experiences right now to teach you this lesson. And so another part of learning this is like, it's a rewiring process in the brain. You have to unlearn what you learned about emotions, what you were taught about your emotions, how you were treated, how you were taught to relate to your own emotions. And you have to kind of expand your perspective of where you can be. So understand, it is completely possible for you. You are completely capable of feeling your emotions right now, having, okay, it is completely possible for you to feel all of your emotions and be safe with yourself and potentially with others, to feel your emotions and be safe. Now, in the past, it may not have been, but we're not in the past anymore, so we want to separate the past version of us that was a powerless child from the present version of us who is an empowered and capable adult. So, like toddlers, for example, literally aren't capable of regulating by themselves. They need an adult to co-regulate with them. And co-regulation is when it's something we do all the time with each other. Like if you ever stand next to an anxious person and you feel anxious, it's because you're co-regulating. It's harder to regulate around a really anxious person because together our nervous systems come to like this synced up state. And so a toddler literally cannot regulate on their own. And so if you didn't have parents who were emotionally intelligent or who knew how to process their emotions, then you were not capable of processing emotions. You had to suppress your emotions. You had to dissociate, whatever it was. But right now, as an adult, you are capable of processing your emotions. And if you were shamed for not being capable of processing your emotions or punished for not being capable of processing your emotions at like the younger ages, that is a big problem. Because, what was I going to say? Well, then you might have this belief to this day in your present that you just aren't capable of controlling your anger, or you just aren't capable of processing these emotions. But this isn't true. So do some reflection. What are your negative beliefs about emotions right now? Learn about the purposes of emotions. Set this simple intention. This is what I'm learning, and I allow life to teach me this. I allow the universe to bring me what I need to teach me this. And if you'd like more information, like I'm gonna go a little bit deeper into the negative associations that you can have with your emotions and how these negative associations are formed, what causes these negative associations and triggers. And if you want to know more about that, you can watch my next video. I will have it linked or somewhere on the video after here. So thank you for watching. My name is Abigail Ellington, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.